This program is brought to you by the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, carrying passengers behind authentic steam engines since 1882.
You're watching Durango TV News. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for joining us. With snow blocking a lot of the mountain roads in the high country, head south for a drive in the country and visit Foxfire Farms, where the Perry family raises sheep, cattle, and grapes on nearly 1,000 acres in the Spring Creek area southeast of Ignacio. Foxfire Farm opened for the season with its annual Taste of Spring celebration. And Durango TV News dropped by earlier this month to learn more about the heritage farm, its vineyards, and its wines.
Well, the farm has been in the family for almost 100 years. We're just 1 year shy of being a centennial farm. And I'm the third generation to own and operate it. And my son is helping me, and I have a grandson, and I have a granddaughter and a daughter on the farm. So there's 5 generations of us have lived and worked here. But we still have all of our sheep, and we have cattle too, and so the big livestock operation is still there, and that's kind of the fundamental basic thing that we do. But my wife is kind of a fan of wines, and I'm a fan of vineyards. And over the years when we would travel, we'd always end up going to wineries and going to vineyards, and I don't remember where it happened, but some crazy place we said, let's do this. And so we did it. About 50% of our products of our wines are what we grow, 50% we purchase it and bring it in from other locations. You know, we are the only commercial vineyard in La Plata County. And there's a couple other vineyards in the southwest part of the state. And the reason why, it's very cold here. It's very difficult to raise grapes commercially. And our first few years, we decided we're going to plant grapes, so we planted, Merlot and Pinot Noir. We planted Riesling like everyone else, like they do in California, but it failed. And I kind of lost interest in it, and then a couple years later, I started reading about cold climate viticulture. And if you go to Minnesota, Michigan, upstate New York, there's a whole industry that's built around these great varieties that thrive in the cold climate. So I started bringing in those varieties about 7-8 years ago, and that's what our vineyard is now based on, is these cold climate varieties. I have 2 of them out here today that came from the vineyard. We have a Marquette wine. This is a red grape that was bred by the University of Minnesota, and it's been real successful here. It makes a real nice medium body red wine, similar to a Merlot or similar to a Cab. Here's a Traminette, and this is another cold climate grape that came from Cornell University, and it makes a real nice white wine, very similar to a Gewürztraminer. Another one, we have 2 Rieslings. These are the Rieslings that we have successfully grown here. We'll get a crop for 2 years, and then the 3rd year we have crop failure. But the Riesling is a European grape that it's struggling, but we are still getting some production from it. And then we have 2 other varieties in the back in the tanks that are from our vineyards. We have about 600 cases, and the rest of the varieties we purchase grapes from Grand Junction. Sometimes we purchase grapes from Montezuma County, over by Cortez, and then some of the juices we bring in from California.
Foxfire Farms is open for tours and wine tastings from 1 to 6 p.m. Thursdays through Sundays. The season lasts from mid-May until October 31st. For more information about Foxfire Farms, visit their website at foxfirefarms.com.
This program is brought to you by the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, carrying passengers behind authentic steam engines since 1882.